Okay, I'm recording this again because of the fact that all it did was sort of come off as a rant. And I'm trying to calm myself and collect myself to talk about Min 1 Max 3. It is not fun. It is not enjoyable. And mind you, I don't play unranked. I just don't. I think it's lame. I, I I don't like playing against players who aren't trying or aren't doing their best or uh, making it an effort to win. I don't like playing against players who are not at my same level or playing with players who are on my same level because then it feels like I'm not learning anything. I can go in there and I can survive and distract as Tracer against two people, but if my team keeps feeding out and trickling out, it doesn't matter what I do. So unranked to me is already not a mode for me. And although I am appreciative that they're going to do 6v6 competitive, I heard they might even do 6v6 competitive and 5v5 competitive at the same time, which, like, why? Just pick one uh, and really give it a shot. But Min 1 Max 3 is miserable to me. It's the same for Kingmaker. It's a miserable game mode. I don't know why Overwatch has this tendency to overcomplicate things when the answers are not to make it more complicated and add more layers of uh, frustration, is all I can put it. Kingmaker was some of the least fun I've had in Overwatch ever. Second only to Min 1 Max 3. And I get back into this game and I'm immediately reminded how frustrating it is to try and go for a play and see a Suzu pop up and negate any work that you might have done because the support looked at the ground and pressed E. And to see how, like, you could be dominating against a team, but the moment that they go Kiriko and just immediately Suzu, the the entire tide of the fight changes because now you don't have that mid game reset that Suzu provides. And Marvel Rivals has some bullshit for sure with sustain and with supports. Most specifically their support ultimates. But as much as those support ultimates are bullshit, you learn to play around the ultimates, which at least aren't all the time. Suzu is every 15 seconds. Immortalities are constant. And like Min 1, Max 3, what they did is they switched to Ultra Sustain through our team. And that's not fun, especially with Suzu. And I can't help but feel that we keep like overcomplicating the fixes to Overwatch when the answers have always been pretty clear. 222 works. That's where Overwatch shines best. Balancing around that is how you can separate away yourself away from Marvel Rivals. I I think that 222 and balancing around that will be difficult, but I still think that is the right direction. I think that having supports that have easy abilities that guarantee free value all the time and ultimates that always guarantee value is what takes away the fun of playing tank. You want to sit there and say, like, oh, well, nobody enjoys playing tank. It's because supports exist the way that they do. I don't know how many times I can say it, other creators can say it. Like, I everybody has the same frustration. And it's taking away the joy from everywhere else. And we keep trying to say, like, oh, well, to try and make these support heroes and these immortalities exist, we're going to add DP and the sustain exist. We're going to add DPS passives and all these hidden passives for tank. And then we're going to, try all these different modes out other than just like sticking with 6v6. Like, we are adding layers of complexity that make it more confusing, less rewarding, and the only people possibly having fun are from their one perspective of the support. And it's not fun for anyone else. I could sit there and play Tracer, who is a high skill character. Or I could just sit back and play the easier support heroes or play one of the DPS heroes that just sits back and shoots because you just get more value more consistently and safely. I really, really want to come back to Overwatch. I really do. No matter how much fun I have in Marvel Rivals, Overwatch is still at its peak some of the most fun I've had playing a game ever. I love the character designs. I love what it stood for. I love how much fun playmaking was. And to be honest, the most fun I've had in Overwatch 2 was playing Overwatch Classic with my friends. Legitimately. Like, and that was playing support, tank, and DPS. I haven't enjoyed Overwatch 2. And trying min 1, max 3 didn't help. Kingmaker didn't help. 6v6 slightly helped, but we still had the same problem of these bullshit Overwatch 2 heroes that make the game not fun. Like, how are you going to sit there and show like Juno ult, which is a mass AoE healing, mass AoE damage boost that just immediately gets hit and provides free value? Compare that to Junker Queen, whose ultimate sends her into the enemy, into dangerous territory, applies an anti, which can immediately be cleansed by a Suzu or by characters recalling or fading or translocating or being you get the idea. How are you going to sit there and say, like, with a straight face, oh, tank just is not a role that people like to play, when you have the difference of like these two heroes, both Overwatch 2 heroes, and what kind of value they provide with how much work it takes, especially for Kiriko. 222 is the format that works for Overwatch. 222 is where it shines best. But the problems, no matter how you try to change it, whether you have Kingmaker or passives or min 1 max 3 or even 6v6, the problems still exist because the problem isn't the format. The problem isn't that tank isn't fun. The problem is that some of these characters, in order to feel strong, need other characters to be nerfed or changed. And as much as I desperately want to come back to Overwatch, and I really, really do, I actually do miss this game. And when I'm playing Marvel Rivals, it's fun, but it doesn't have the same skill expression as Overwatch does. But I can't bring myself to come back to Overwatch because this is my first time hopping on in weeks, months. And I immediately after 3 games, waiting 2 to 3 minutes for a queue time for min 1, max 3, I'm immediately met with going to make a dangerous, risky play, having a situation where I should have been rewarded for seeing a pet character or a person make a mistake and trying to capitalize on it, and a Suzu coming from Narnia to negate that, who took no risk at all. And I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I don't play this. This is why I don't deal with this anymore. Because no matter how many times people say it, no matter how many times pros have said it or competitive players have said it, we never address the issues. We never address the problem. And I don't I don't know what else needs to be said because as you know, I've seen flats say like casual players think they're catering to pros. Pros think they're catering to casuals. And I honestly have no idea who they're catering to. I really don't because it's not for me. I know that for sure. I don't know who the target audience is, but it's not it's not me anymore. Maybe there is an audience for it and I'm just not it anymore. Maybe there is a large player base that still finds it enjoyable. But to me, if something big doesn't shake it up on February 12th by removing immortalities from the game and nerfing sustain and getting rid of passives, I don't know what they can do to bring players back because in its current state right now, I have no desire to come back despite wanting to. There's a difference there. I want to, but there's nothing sort of luring me back. Min 1 max 3 isn't it. Kingmaker wasn't it. Like they need to address the problems. And the problems, once again, it's not the format, it's that certain heroes and certain abilities take away the fun from everyone else. And I know that Kiriko probably sells a lot of skins, but that one hero, uh, I shouldn't even say one hero. Kiriko, Lifeweaver, and occasionally Baptiste, and sometimes Juno. Those four heroes managed to suck the fun out of the rest of the roster for me. So much so that I'm just like, every game I play will start maybe without those characters, but it'll always end with them. Because at some point, people are going to default to just saying, you know what? I'm just going to do what's easy. I'm just going to do what provides me a lot of value without a lot of work. And it gets very repetitive and very dull, especially knowing that in this game, there's all these hidden passives I have to start remembering again. Oh, I need to be shooting the passive constantly to like apply the DPS passive for whatever reason. Like, anyway, um, I tried, I really do, but one rule I have for uh, game development is that if you can't hook your players immediately, like, if you don't hook a player within the first like hour or two of playing, then you didn't do a good enough job to keep them there. Because you shouldn't have to tell someone it gets fun later, especially in a video game or in any media for that matter. I'm not going to watch a 2 hour movie because it has a good ending, but the first hour and a half is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, same is true for a video game. If you want a game to be good, make sure it's good from the start and there's something there to pull you in. But Min 1 Max 3 is the same rehash of the same problems, and I will check out the February 12th news and see from there. But otherwise, like, I don't know. I have Overwatch content I can make in terms of criticisms, but playing the game just makes me angry and frustrated, and that's not something I want to do on a regular basis. So I just have to hope that one day there's a patch in the future that leaves me excited because, dropping new heroes isn't going to bring me back when Kiriko still exists the way that she does and all supports do. Like, I don't care how fun the new tank is. I don't care what kind of DPS you make. The moment I jump in and try to attack someone who has made a mistake and I can punish them for that mistake and a Suzu comes out, it makes me want to just absolutely rage and leave the game. So if Blizzard adjusts that, I think that their game has a future. But if they refuse to, and every new patch is the same thing of just trying to overcomplicate, like I don't know how much longer like this is gonna continue on because um, I think Overwatch is a better designed game, but Marvel Rivals is just more fun. Like, and this is the problem where I think Overwatch is balanced. Like, I think that if you're going for a 50% win rate on all heroes or something, Overwatch is technically balanced, but balanced and fun is not the same thing. Balancing off of stats and versus perception and game feel is different. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that game feel, perception, and fun matters far more to me than balance. Overwatch might be a better game, but better balanced game in comparison to Marvel Rivals. But I'm still going to hop off this and go play Marvel Rivals. So, you know, I guess we'll see you on February 12th and see what happens.